Look at the sky. We are not alone. The whole universe is friendly to us and conspires only to give the best to those who dream and work. Such uplifting words, aren't they? It's such a surreal thought. Just imagine the entire universe conspiring to give us the best. To me, these words almost sound like lyrics of a beautiful song. Now let me tell you something. These aren't really the words of a creative writer, but they are the actual words of one of the greatest minds of our country's history, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Today, we are going to read a story about his early life, titled My Childhood. My Childhood is in fact an extract from this very novel written by Kalam. The book covers his early life and his work in the Indian space research and missile development programs. And it is an inspiring story of a boy from a humble background who went on to become a great scientist and later, of course, the President of India. His life is an illustration of the fact that one can achieve anything one desires as long as one works hard for it. On that note, let's start off with the story My Childhood. My Childhood by APJ Abdul Kalam. I was born into a middle-class Tamil family in the island town of Rameswaram in the erstwhile Madras state. My father, Jainul-Abidin, had neither much formal education nor much wealth. Despite these disadvantages, he possessed great innate wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. He had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashiyama. I did not recall the exact number of people she fed every day, but I'm quite certain that far more outsiders ate with us than all the members of our own family put together. I was one of many children, a short boy with rather undistinguished looks, born to tall and handsome parents. We lived in our ancestral house, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. It was a fairly large pakka house made of limestone and brick on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. My austere father used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxuries. However, all necessities were provided for in terms of food, medicine, and clothes. In fact, I would say mine was a very secure childhood, both materially and emotionally. The Second World War broke out in 1939 when I was 8 years old. For reasons I have never been able to understand, a sudden demand for tamarind seeds erupted in the market. I used to collect the seeds and sell them to a provision shop on Mosque Street. A day's collection would fetch me the princely sum of 1 anna. My brother-in-law, Jalaluddin, told me stories about the war which I would later attempt to trace in the headlines in Dinamani. Our area being isolated was completely unaffected by the war. But soon India was forced to join the Allied forces and something like a state of emergency was declared. The first casualty came up in the form of the suspension of the train halt at Rameswaram station. The newspapers now had to be bundled and thrown out from the moving train on the Rameswaram road between Rameswaram and Dhanushkodi. That forced my cousin Samsuddin, who distributed newspapers in Rameswaram, to look for a helping hand to catch the bundles, and as if naturally, I filled the slot. Samsuddin helped me earn my first wages. Half a century later, I can still feel the surge of pride in earning my money for the first time. So let's take a short break from reading and understand the details, okay? In this part of the story, Dr. Kalam tells us about his hometown, Rameshwaram. We find out he was born into a middle-class Tamil family, okay, in Madras, in Rameswaram, the present-day Chennai, basically. He tells us about his parents, Jainul-Abidin and Ashiyama, Now, Dr. Kalam's father was neither much educated nor did he have a lot of wealth, but he was a wise man and he had a generous spirit. Now, Dr. Kalam's mother, however, was the perfect partner to him, who complimented his father. And he tells us about how his mother used to feed the outsiders every day. Though he could not recall the exact number of people his mother fed, but certainly the number was far more than all his family members put together. Now, Dr. Kalam had many brothers and sisters. Although his parents were tall and handsome, he himself was a short boy with rather ordinary looks. They lived in their ancestral house, which was built in the 19th century, and it was located on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram, and a fairly large pakka house made of limestone and brick. Dr. Kalam's father was not used to these unnecessary comforts and luxuries, but he made sure that the basic necessities were in place. This is why Dr. Kalam says that he had a very secure childhood. Then in 1939, when Dr. Kalam was 8 years old, the Second World War had broken out. During that time, for reasons unknown to Kalam, a sudden demand for tamarind seeds had erupted in the market. So he used to collect these seeds, and sell them at a local provision shop. And he would fetch just 1 anna of a salary every day. Those were the days. 1 anna was quite a bit of money for an 8-year-old child. Well, going back to the story we read, that Dr. Kalam's brother-in-law, Jalaluddin, used to tell him war stories. Later, Kalam would attempt to trace them in the headlines of a newspaper called Dinamani. Now, the area in which they lived was quite remote and isolated, so it was untouched by war. Yeah? So when India was forced to join the Allied forces, a state of emergency was declared, and it was at that time that Rameshwaram faced the consequences of war. The first impact was when the train halt at Rameswaram station was suspended. Due to this, the newspapers now had to be bundled and thrown out from the moving train on the Rameswaram road between Rameswaram and Dhanushkodi. Now, Dr. Kalam's cousin used to distribute newspapers in Rameswaram. But due to the suspension of train halt, he had to look for someone who could help him catch the newspaper bundles. Guess who filled the place? None other than the young Abdul Kalam, and thus it was Samsuddin who helped him to earn his first wage. Now, before we read more about his childhood, let's look at some of the significant words that we came across in this part of the story. So, the first word we came across was erstwhile, which means former or earlier. In the extract, this word refers to Chennai, which was earlier called Madras. The next word we have is innate, which means inborn or natural. This word refers to the qualities of Dr. Kalam's father. We have the word ideal, which refers to a person or thing regarded as perfect. It has been used for Dr. Kalam's mother, who was a perfect partner for his father. After that, we have the word undistinguished, which refers to something ordinary. Dr. Kalam has used the word to describe his own ordinary looks. The next word is ancestral. That means belonging to or inherited from an ancestor. My childhood is an account of a young boy who tries to achieve his dreams by beating all the odds. We saw that he belonged to an orthodox society, where not many were open to secularism. Tutormate. For more amazing video lectures, download the free app on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store.